The growth that I've had in health, wealth, and love, most of those opportunities for growth came when I was losing, not when I was winning. And I started tracking all of this stuff when I was losing, not when I was winning. Now, is it coincidental that that's when I partnered with you and I was losing? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. That's up for grabs.
Maybe it's sleep. Maybe you want to focus on sleep this quarter. Whatever it is, I use 90 days. I use quarters. So 2024 is coming up. What do you want to track for the first quarter of 2024? And what do you want to focus on? Because whatever you track, you're gonna focus on.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. We hope you enjoyed yesterday's episode number 1540. What does it mean about you if you disappoint someone? It probably should be, what does it mean about you when you disappoint someone? Because it's probably going to happen, unfortunately, but we can grow through it. Today, for episode number 1541, one reason you don't feel like you're making progress. I got an Oura ring from Taryn. Taryn got me an Oura ring for a Christmas present almost a year ago, which is mind-blowing that it's been a year.
Nice.
For those who don't know, an Oura ring tracks your sleep, it tracks your heart rate, all sorts of different stuff. Stuff that I do not even comprehend, I'm sure. This is not an ad or a sponsor or a plug for Oura ring, but it does help. It does go with my story.
This episode brought to you by Oura.
Cut to the sponsorship. I recently, when I was talking to Taryn, I said, I don't know, I don't really feel like I've been sleeping well lately. I just don't feel like I've been sleeping well. And she said, well, what's the Oura ring say? And I said, well, it depends. I mean, some days it's 60, some days it's 70, some days it's 80, some days it's 89. The highest I think I've ever gotten is 89. I said, but just overall, I don't really feel like I've been sleeping that well.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Those are, well, the kid gets up early. I have to set an alarm.
Kev, I'm kidding.
I know some of us just wake up when we want, and the birds awaken us.
Time in bed, 9 hours and 45 minutes.
I am jealous. There's a little part of me that's envious, not jealous, envious. But I do. I like getting up early, so for me, I should just go to bed earlier than I do, but I am a rebel around bedtime.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to, man. I understand.
Most of the time you don't want to. So what have I done recently? I have something called a fit tracker that Alan created and taught me how to use, made me a sheet, all that happy jazz. And I track my weight, and I track my calories, and I track my activity. And recently, I started tracking my sleep score because you were tracking your sleep score.
Nice.
And what that revealed to me is my sleep has actually gotten far better over the last few months. Why am I telling you that? One reason you don't feel like you're making progress because you are not measuring what you're trying to make progress in. So even the fit tracker, before I might have an idea of, well, today I weighed 175 pounds and yesterday I weighed 176. Awesome. I feel like I probably ate 2,000 calories yesterday. So 2,000 calories, I'm losing weight. All right, cool. That's good. Versus having way more specific numbers where yesterday I ate 1,850 calories. Today I was 179.1. Okay, I'm down X amount over the last 7 days. That might be a little bit more intense than you want to get into, but the point of it is when you're measuring something, you actually know whether or not you're making progress. We've talked many times about the difference between logic and emotion. Emotion is what you're feeling. Well, I don't really feel like I'm making progress. I've said that so many times. Logic is based on the numbers and based on the facts, and usually those are going to be based on the things that you're tracking. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Another episode that's not necessarily sexy in terms of tracking things, but it is one of those fundamentals that if you can do it for a long enough period of time, I am willing to bet you will be drastically more successful than you would have been if you didn't do it.
I was on a podcast last week, and they often ask me questions lately. I've been going back on shows, and they'll always ask, you're coming up on 5,000 coaching sessions, because I'll often say that, because that's another thing I measure. By the way, I measure coaching sessions because I want to get better at coaching. How do you do that? You practice. And so they say, what are you doing with your clients that's making the biggest difference? And I say, listen, this is not just a plug for my app, but habit tracking. We do have a habit tracking app. And if you want it, email me, alan@nextleveluniverse.com. But even if you start with just 3 things. Green, yellow, red. Green light means you did it. Yellow means you kind of did it. So for me, yesterday I foam rolled a little bit in the gym, so I got 0.5, aka a yellow light for mobility. The things that you track keep you on track. And to Kevin's point, this is not a sexy episode. Emilia introduced a book to me 2 years ago or so, and it's called Measure What Matters. I do not remember the author's name. And the whole idea is exactly like the title. It's, if something matters to you, you'll be measuring it. So Emilia and I do 3 gratitudes for each other before bed every single night. We missed 2 nights ago, so we did 6 last night. But at the end of the day, if something matters to you and you start measuring it, you're going to focus on it. And when you focus on it, it's going to improve. And so there's a bunch of different examples we can give. And you don't want to over measure, because if everything's important, nothing's important. So I track my sleep. I track number of gratitudes for Emilia each night. I track my habits. I track what I do on my calendar and when. I track number of coaching sessions. I also have a love score. So Emilia and I have her top 3 cup fillers. We talk about this on the Conscious Couples podcast, different podcast, and you can go check that out. Just type in cup fillers. But I have her top 3 cup fillers, and I track how often I do that. So each week I have these 3 columns, and did I do that or did I not do that? And at the end of the day, the idea is 2 things. Number 1, I like the analogy of the inner tube at the beach. So if you're just falling asleep for 10 minutes at the beach and you're on an inner tube just relaxing in the sun, you're going to wake up a mile down the beach. And you're going to be like, whoa, where's my towels? Where is everybody? And I feel like that's what happens in life. We just drift. But if you had somehow an inner tube alarm system that when you drifted too far, it started going beep, beep, and then beep, 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 and then beep, 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 beep. Like the farther you got away, the more it beeped, the more it annoyed you. You'd just stay on track much more. And so number 1 is tracking keeps you on track. I just thought of something, Kev, that I think is actually really funny. Tracking keeps you on track. I was at the track. How many times can I say track in this episode? And I was trying to do a marathon. And so for those of you who don't know, I think most people know this, but 4 revolutions around a standard track and field is a mile. And so I had to do 26 miles. So 26 times 4. And I swear to you, Kev, I was holding my phone, clicking the button. So I had a little tracker app where you would add a check every mile. And I was holding it the whole time.
There's got to be a better way.
I remember we had a team member where he was like, wait a minute. You did a marathon holding your phone and you like manually tracked it, and you did it on a track where you ran around the same track 100 and what's 4 times 26? It's like 104.
104.
I think it was 104 laps. He's like, you did 104 laps on the same track? I said, it was awful. It was so bad. Yeah. He's like, normally marathons are like good scenery, lakes and mountains, and no, for me it was that same loop, 104 times. It was awful, genuinely. But at the end of the day, tracking keeps you on track. And the second thing that I would have everyone say is, to Kevin's point originally, he has data that has a bigger timeline. He can zoom out and go, oh, I am making progress. Mm-hmm. Or you can zoom out and go, uh-oh, I'm really not, even though I feel like I am. Because maybe you lose a pound, feel good, gain a half pound, lose another pound, feel good. You might not be making any progress. You might be completely stagnant and not even know it. And so this episode, as unsexy as it might be, I'm not saying to track 50 things. I genuinely don't think you should. I had a client once who was tracking 42 things. I'm like, listen, man, you got to cool it. If 42 things are important, nothing's important. And again, that's just my perspective. I was his coach. I'm supposed to give him my truth. But if you're tracking nothing, you've got to track some things that really matter. Maybe it's finances for this quarter. Maybe it's your weight for this quarter. Maybe it's sleep. Maybe you want to focus on sleep this quarter. Whatever it is, I use 90 days. I use quarters. So 2024 is coming up. What do you want to track for the first quarter of 2024? And what do you want to focus on? Because whatever you track, you're gonna focus on.
I think scale, bank account, and then some sort of relationship measurement. If you That even could be a relationship measurement of you to yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in a relationship. I think those are probably the best places to start because that's what well-rounded, holistic tracking looks like.
Health, wealth, and love.
Health, wealth, and love. If you can track, if you can wake up, and again, I understand maybe there's community members out there that are going through a rebuilding stage of their relationship with the scale or calories or food, whatever it may be. So take this and insert it to the degree that you're ready to use it. But how long does it take to weigh yourself every day? 15 seconds, depending on the scale. If the scale's in the bathroom and you just jump on it, cool. And it takes another 5 seconds to write down that number or put it in a spreadsheet or wherever it is. How long does it take to track your bank balance? That depends. If you're going to go through and, okay, I got a cheeseburger and I got a coffee. Okay, I spent this. It can take some time. I know you're doing the finances now, but there's days where it would take, let's just say 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, man. Depending on how long you let the expenses ride.
The longer you wait, the worse it gets.
What was the longest you've waited, by the way? Because I'm coming up on a time where it's going to take me probably 2 hours to put the expenses in.
Oh, I never got that far. I don't know, probably like 5 days.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
5 days probably. Well, because trust me, I've been to the point where you have to go through and there's 30 credit card transactions. And you're like, did I already use this one?
Yeah, I know. It's brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
and
you have
Bank
to go
of America
through
sucks. Shots fired at Bank
this
of America.
episode brought to you by
Not
Bank
brought
of
to you
America.
by Bank of America. But that's another good thing.
Hey everybody, my name is Bianca and I am the co-founder and COO of Evolve Ventures Technologies. The only reason I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do today is because of the guidance that Alan gave and how much he never gave up on me, even when I wanted to. If you are looking for a coach, if you're looking for a mentor, there is no one better than Alan. There's nobody who's done more research. There's nobody who's put in more effort than him. He will go above and beyond to make sure that you become everything you've ever dreamed of. And I'm the proof. Alan, you changed my life and I will forever be grateful for you.
I've found that we usually run away from the thing that we should be tracking the most.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that we're not getting results in is usually the thing that we're not tracking, and it's usually the thing we try to run away from the most because we have so much uncertainty, or we have so much fear around it, or we're embarrassed, or it's probably, for me at least, I'll say in the past, it's been anxiety. Mm-hmm. There's that anxious moment when you hit the button that opens your bank account on your online banking platform of choice, and you're waiting, and it has the swirly thing, it's swirling, and you're thinking, I hope it's positive. I hope this number is positive. I've been there. I know. But those are the times where you need to track even more. The growth that I've had in health, wealth, and love, most of those opportunities for growth came when I was losing, not when I was winning. And I started tracking all of this stuff when I was losing, not when I was winning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it coincidental that that's when I partnered with you and I was losing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe. That's up for grabs. Is it coincidental?
I was going to ask you. Sorry.
Yeah, why don't you wait a dance? Okay? Sorry.
I do have a question for you when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm ready now.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I wanted to ask you, as someone who never tracked back in the day, what would you, and I've asked you this before, but I want to see what your new Kevin 3.5. Are you 35 yet, man?
I don't know how old I am. I was born August 8th, 1989. I believe I'm 34 years of age.
Yeah. So in August of next year, you'll be 35.
I think so, yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so this is Kevin version 3.4.
Yeah.
And what does he have to say when I ask the following question? What did you originally think of habit tracking, and what do you think of it now? Yeah, why should someone habit track, or why should someone track anything? Let's do that. Why should anyone track anything?
I would say it's the only way to truly know what's going on. There's no emotion involved. You can feel like you're doing well but be doing terribly. You can feel like you're doing terribly but be doing well. The only way to really know that is to have the data.
as a non-numbers oriented person who I realize, does numbers, you do quick mental math and all that, but I don't think you think in numbers necessarily. I think you think in words. So as someone who's not a naturally numbers oriented person, what advice would you give?
If you want to get control of something, you have to measure what you can control. That's I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to sell myself on it.
That sounds super empowering.
I know. The reason I was struggling back then is because I ran away from, it's almost like this. If you don't want to see the number, you probably think you're going in the wrong direction. That might be true. It might not be true. But the only way to know for sure is to look and track it. The only way to turn, not the only way, the best way, the most replicable, my goodness, the most in control way to do it is to track it. Yeah, you can hope that your job changes or you make more money or you spend less money, but the only way really to have influence on it is to track it. I was laughing at you earlier in the episode because you said I was foam rolling when I was in, and I thought for sure you were going to say in the shower. I thought for sure the next thing that was coming out of your mouth was I was foam rolling when I was in the shower.
No. I have yet to get a shower foam roller.
I was doing yoga the other day in the shower, and I was finalizing the painting that we're going to be putting up on the wall in the shower, and then I realized...
I like to habit stack, man. You got to habit stack. Look, I brush my teeth in there. I floss in there.
I respect it.
I shave in the shower. It is what it is. You got to habit stack. For those of you who don't know what a habit stack is, real quick, super fast.
Go ahead, yeah.
You just take something you already do, and you just stack something on top of it. Super simple. I like to learn in the shower, too, because I know I'm going to shower every day. So now I know I'm going to learn every day. Simple.
I respect it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I was foam rolling the other day.
Who knows?
In the shower. I was playing basketball the other day in the shower.
Who knows? With you might have a little hoop. A little hoop above the...
A little hoop. What does he do when he's not working? It's funny.
In the shower.
Okay.
Wait, real quick. I just want to make sure I button up my answer. You asked me the question. Give the guy the respect to let him answer. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I don't really have a good answer. Honestly, I don't. I don't have a great answer. Because I don't know what I would have said to him back then because he was stubborn and he probably wouldn't have listened. But I would say the things that you're running from are probably the things that you should be tracking. Because you're probably running from them because you have anxiety or uncertainty around them. What if more certainty would actually bring more empowerment? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it would immediately because it probably won't. But what it will do is it will create the necessity for you to learn how to rebuild your relationship with it. That would be what I would say to Kev, and then I'd punch him in his throat gently. Get it together, Kev, sir. Gently. Not a bad. Just to wake him up a bit.
Well, what I was going to say was two things. One is mathematical certainty will give you, hopefully, help the anxiety. So if you're unsure of what the scale says or the bank account says or whatever, when you go and track it, you're going to get a lot of uncertainty up front, but then you'll get control back.
Right.
And so that sense of control is really good for our well-being. There's a lot of studies underneath that. And then the second thing is get a tracking buddy. So Emilia's my tracking buddy. We send each other our sleep score every single day. We do a little screenshot. And
what was it?
She sent today.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
So hold on. Let me go find it because we texted a lot today. So mine's an 88. I think I won yesterday. And hers is a 85. 85.
Decent numbers.
Pretty good. Yeah, but we went to bed a little late. So timing, I just want you to know the Aura algorithms, I do not agree. So if no one from Aura is listening, but let's say they were, hey, get it together with your timing algorithm because just because I went to bed at midnight does not mean my sleep score should take such a big hit.
Well, the old circadian rhythm that they say.
Yeah, but they overweigh it, definitely.
Well,
I mean,
we'll save that for another episode.
Deep sleep and REM.
We'll save that for another episode, yeah.
I just want to say, real quick.
I know.
Deep sleep and REM matter way more than timing. I'm just saying. So, anyways, I love Aura. It's one of the best things I've ever purchased in my entire life. And again, this is not sponsored.
Not an ad. Still not an
ad. But the timing algorithm needs work, in my opinion.
Okay. Anything else you want to say to Anybody who's created a product or service
No, that's it. That's it.
on how they can improve it?
What's up?
How's that water bottle? What flaws do we find in that? A little thin. It's kind of thin.
Oh, I like this water bottle a lot.
Does it ever tip over when it's empty?
No. I like it has a good spout on it.
A good spout.
Yep.
What's
Real
your
good.
next level nugget before you sip that water?
If something matters to you, measure it, and long term, that will improve. Long term.
Very concise next level nugget. I would say the things that we're most afraid of are probably the things that we need to be tracking, because a lot of the fear comes from uncertainty and perceived lack of control. And when you start tracking, you can see how an input affects the output, is what I would say. Maybe I have a big meal on the weekends and my weight spikes, but if I start to understand that, I don't have to be emotional about the fact that the scale says a different number. Maybe I get to the point where I say, oh yeah, I had a big meal. I'm sure it's going to flatten out in the next few days because of sodium intake and water holding and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Well said.
I appreciate that very much. A little giggly episode today for you and I.
It was a good one.
It's been a weird day. Next Level Nation, if you have not yet joined our private Facebook group, appropriately named Next Level Nation, please do so. I believe now more than ever 3 things: self-belief, self-worth, and your community. Those are really 3 big pillars to success. If your community needs to be more next leveled, that is exactly why we created the Facebook group. Alan and myself are in there every day. Amy's in there every day. The team's in there every day. There's always something going on. So we would love for you to be a part of it if you have not yet joined. Link will be in the show notes.
I think we just surpassed 715 people. I actually just invited some people who came to our holiday event last year to Next Level Nation this year. Speaking of which, so 2 things I want to say. Number 1, if you want help tracking, there's 2 ways. You can use our app. Reach out, alan@nextleveluniverse.com. I'll teach you how to do it. Or you can reach out to me and I can set you up in a Google Sheet. We have a Next Level Fit tracker. We have a Next Level Finance tracker. We have a Peak Performance tracker. We are trackers at NLU, in case you did not know. I will help you. I'm happy to help you. It's totally free. Please reach out, alan@nextleveluniverse.com. Google Sheets is free. Mm-hmm. So you can use it on your phone, right? I have a lot of clients doing this. It's really good. Okay, and then the second piece is our Next Level Hope Foundation holiday event is Sunday, this Sunday, December 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We rented out the entire gym at the YMCA, Greendale YMCA in Worcester, Mass. And we have an arts and crafts room. We're going to get pizza. There's going to be basketball, football, photo booth. There's going to be Frisbee. It's going to be awesome. If you want to attend, if you're a single parent or once were a single parent with your littles, please attend. RSVP at the link in the show notes. We love to meet our listeners, and we would love to have you. And everybody's going to get a book, everybody's going to get a gift to open, and everybody's going to get a Beanie Baby as well.
Right on.
The kids will get those. Kevin is not getting any of those.
Well then, I don't know if we're going to make it. Tomorrow, for episode number 1542, an easy way to express your relationship needs. We've talked many times about the challenges underneath vulnerably expressing, not just in an intimate relationship, but any relationship. So we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow in a very easy way for you to improve that. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we do not have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Measure what matters. Next Level Nation.